is a 1968 Chevrolet Camaro Super Sport 396. But it's not just any run-of-the-mill 396. Oh no, this one is an L89. And these cars are quick, and they will smack you right in the mouth.
It was a robbery at about 3:30 in the morning. Now, police are for...
And that's because you got all sorts of goodies with the L89, and it all started with the L78 engine. The L78 was the high-performance version of the 396. We're talking about a solid lifter cam, forged crank and pistons, 4-bolt mains, and a compression ratio of 11:1. And then with all of those changes, it put out a horsepower rating of 375 at 5,600 RPM and 415 pound-feet of torque at 3,600 RPM. So Chevrolet took the L78, they swapped on a set of absolutely sensual aluminum heads, and they called it the L89. The aluminum heads didn't exactly add any more horsepower, but they did remove a decent amount of weight from the front of a car that is rather nose heavy, so the benefits are definitely there. Depending on the source that you reference, the weight reduction could be anywhere between 70 and 85 pounds, which is pretty significant in a car that is already downright nasty. I can't take it. A couple of transmissions were available, and one of those was a specifically tuned TH400 automatic, but not this car. This one features the 4-speed manual, and that's just way more fun. There were quite a few rear gear options available that year with the L89, and you could get anywhere between a 331 and a 488. This car features 410 gears, and that should be a fantastic pairing with that high-revving L89 engine. Even though this Camaro has a big block stuffed up front, it's still rather lightweight. With driver, it's coming in at 3,450 pounds. So it's definitely gonna surprise you.
Hey, Ron.
Hey, Billy. That hurt.
There was one rather interesting option for the 1968 Camaro, and that being a tri-volume horn. If you wanted your Camaro horn to sound a little bit more like a Cadillac, then this was the option for you. It was $13.70, and it was a pretty rare option. In fact, if you can even find an NOS tri-volume horn, they can run almost $500. But enough talk about this Camaro, let's check out its opponent. This is a 1970 Buick GS455, and some people say that Buicks are grandma cars.
Something a burglar would not want to see when he breaks into a house. Right.
Naked grandma!
Naked, huh?
But I don't necessarily think that's true unless it's some sort of crazy grandma that likes to get naked and party, because these cars are absolutely undervalued monsters. We're talking 350 horsepower at 4,600 RPM and 510 pound-feet of torque at 2,800 RPM. But admittedly, Buick's advertising was a little boring in the early 1970s.
These two automobile engines look pretty much the same, but they certainly don't act the same. The one on the right is standard in this new Buick. It's designed to run on low-lead or no-lead gasoline. It can significantly...
And then for the sake of being complete, this is a Camaro commercial from 1967.
Camaro in coupe or convertible, add whatever you can handle. Like hideaway headlights, big car engine.
See, I don't know about you guys, but that commercial makes me want to go out there and be an American. You know, get some diabetes and buy a Camaro. The point I'm really trying to make here is that Buick and Chevrolet had different advertising, and the Buicks didn't really sell as well, so they're not quite as popular today, but they're still a fantastic car. The compression ratio was 10:1, But for the next year, 1971, it's going to drop to 8.5 to 1. And that's because of the upcoming mandates on unleaded gas, insurance companies were cracking down. You guys know how it is. When it rains, it pours. A couple transmissions were available in the Buick that year. You could still get a 4-speed manual, but this car features the more common and ultra-robust TH400 3-speed automatic. It also features a somewhat aggressive rear gear, that being a 390, and with driver, this car is weighing in at 3,892 pounds, which isn't that bad considering that it's a GS455. Commonly, these cars will weigh over 4,000 pounds with the driver, but still, that's 450 pounds more than the Camaro. But enough talk about these two cars. Let's see what they can do on the drag strip. Thanks for checking out this Cars and Zebras Quickie. I do appreciate you watching, and of course, I'll see you at the next one.